Are you ready?
Ready.
It's been 2 years since we did one of these. You're not worried we're out of practice?
Well, maybe I would be, but we wrote this ahead of time, so...
Good point. What about him? Is he ready?
I'll check. Jack? Jack.
Jack!
For fuck's sake, what is it?
We're getting ready to do the Turkey Day video.
Remember, you said you'd sit in with us?
Why the hell would I do that?
Because we asked you to. We need a third person now that Tony...
Oi! Don't you say his name.
Sorry?
Steve and I can do it ourselves if you're not up for it.
But I am up for it. You've seen to that. So let's just do it. What are we doing?
We're going to watch some old educational shorts and make fun of them Mystery Science Theater 3000 style. It's the finest of all Turkey Day traditions now that they don't have wrestling on Thanksgiving anymore.
Right then, let's get on with it.
What are we watching?
First, as an appetizer, we'll be watching a 6-minute short from 1958. It's a little something I like to call Bright Young Newcomer.
Do you like to call it that because that's the title?
Yep. What's a text film?
They're for people too cabbage-headed to read a textbook.
The bright young newcomer who fit right in and everybody loved right away. Will I be able to follow this even if I haven't seen the rest of the Office Supervisor's Problem series, or will I be lost?
In cooperation with National Office Management Asses what?
You know, sometimes I feel sorry for people who have to run an office setup.
And sometimes I think it's just what those bastards deserve.
So darn many things can develop out of nothing.
Women! Can't live with them, can't live with them, am I right, gang?
Situations. But then again, you never know. George Barnes, or G. Bennett Barnes as he signs his name.
Let's just go with George.
George runs the office end of the service department. This involves considerable correspondence, special records, and complicated systems of filing.
All of which is completely over George's head.
For George. And Betty here is what you might call the leader of the group. I guess just about every office has someone like Betty. A little short on personality, maybe, but...
Not like George. He's Mr. Personality.
She's been here almost as long as George.
And she still only makes 2/3 as much.
Were set up by Betty in the first place. Well, to get along with my story, George hired a new girl.
Joan, it's good to have you with us. We hope you like it here.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes. I'm sure I will.
Just try not to speak to me or look at me and we'll get along fine.
With your extensive background, I'm sure your college training and particularly your past working experience in the service field will be a big help to us.
Well, I certainly hope so.
It's 1958 and college cost me $27.
See how we do things, then who knows? With a fresh viewpoint, maybe you'll come up with some new ideas.
Which I will either take credit for myself or ignore completely.
Well, Betty, this is Joan Thomas. She's replacing Sylvia. Joan, this is Betty McCormick.
How do you do, Joan? I'm glad to know you. Hello, Betty.
Betty, will you take Joan and show her around the office and introduce her to everyone, please?
I'll be happy to.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes.
Joan.
Maybe now I can finally finish yesterday's jumble before moving on to today's.
Intelligent girl, quick to grasp things, full of sound ideas. A couple of weeks later...
Well, I could tell you, but instead, let's watch.
What is it, Joan?
Well, I'm having an awful time checking anything in these guarantee files. It's all alphabetical, and there are millions of them. Takes forever to find any particular one.
Whoever came up with this filing system sure is a little short on personality, maybe.
There we broke the guarantees down by cities, and then alphabetically. That way, when you wanted to check one, you could do it in a jiffy. Seems we could save a lot of time if we do it that way here.
Or we could keep filing things alphabetically without breaking them into smaller categories like a bunch of goddamned apes. It's up to you.
Mr. Barnes said, well, I just thought it would save time for everyone, especially me.
Well, I'm sorry we don't do things more to your way of thinking. Perhaps the Malco was better organized.
No, I didn't mean it that way, Betty.
My comments weren't directed at the entire company, just at you specifically.
That's how the situation first developed.
By that night, everyone was dead.
An old employee and an intelligent, experienced new one. Well, it wasn't long until...
God damn it, what? What now? What?
Oh, good morning, Betty.
Oi, it's that Joan bitch or me. Take your pick.
Mr. Barnes, I've never had any trouble in the office as long as I've been here. I think you'll agree I've always gotten along with the other girls.
Certainly.
Except for the ones you disappeared.
It's that new girl, Joan Thomas. Just because she's been to college and worked service in a couple of other places, she tries to lord it over everyone.
Since when does a business administration degree have anything to do with running an office?
System is no good. And I developed that system, Mr. Barnes, over 8 years ago, and it's worked. Now all of a sudden it's no good.
My filing system has been slandered and calls out for blood.
I did say something to Joan about new ideas. Let her make suggestions. I'm sure it's nothing personal as far as you're concerned.
Even the other girls, even they're getting critical. And I spent years getting those files to where they are now.
Betty, you've done a good job.
Now shut up.
We all think a lot of you. We appreciate what you've done. I count on you to keep things rolling out there. I'll tell you what. I'll talk to her and... Now, don't worry. I'll talk to her. Barnes speaking.
No, I told you, I have the money. Just let my daughter go.
Man. But he's also a busy man.
And a coward.
He didn't talk to Joan that day, or the next day, or the next.
In fact, he never left that room again. But the rest of the world didn't know the difference because he was a bloody office manager.
Making a mountain out of a molehill. Stopping a chain reaction of disharmony in his department by just letting it alone. And he could be right. But one day, a couple of weeks later...
Prepare to meet thy God, Joan.
The Alpine Service Company's monthly and warranty report file on your desk. I can't find it anywhere.
Alpine? No, I don't, Betty. It must be in the files.
I've been looking in the file for half an hour and I can't find it. It's one of your files. Are you sure you're up to date?
Of course I'm up to date. Don't patronize me, Betty.
Sorry, I forgot to tell you. The girls and I were talking the other day, and we figured out it would save time if the in-warranty reports were separated because, well, they have to be filed in products anyway. Here, let me show you.
All I need to know is who do you think you are?
It's about to break loose, lads.
$100 on Betty. Really? You don't think Joan can take her?
Not unless they taught her how to dish out a beating at that fancy college of hers.
I spent an hour looking for just one report. She's tearing down everything I spent years to build up.
Which is why I smashed her through the window a moment ago. Just thought you should be informed.
To her, didn't you?
No. Frankly, I forgot to do it. It slipped my mind. I thought of it later, and then I thought...
That I didn't want to.
It'll probably take care of itself.
But I told you she was becoming impossible.
And you did nothing! And now her blood is on your hands!
I do, Betty. I just didn't expect such resistance to new ideas.
Why did Betty resist the new ideas? Stay tuned for a brief discussion of this question immediately following the presentation. So, why did Betty resist the new ideas?
Oh shit, did you mean right now?
The fuck did you think he meant?
I thought it was just a bit.
Sorry for the confusion. So?
Maybe Betty, being an unmarried, childless woman of a certain age, identifies with her filing system in much the same way a parent might identify with their child. And she interprets Joan's constant complaints and disparaging of her filing system as attacks on herself as a person and on that which she views as her legacy.
Interesting. What about you, Jack?
I think we would also be remiss not to acknowledge Betty's evident insecurity over the fact that Joan is younger, better educated, and more conventionally attractive, which no doubt makes her a more desirable sexual object for Mr. Barnes, the only man in the office, and the person Betty, as the longest tenured employee in the office, no doubt sees as both a father figure and a potential lover.
Good. Jack?
Because it was the bloody 1950s, all the middle-class white people resisted the new ideas.
Also an excellent point. What's next?
Now that we're all pretending the COVID-19 pandemic is over, most people are going back to have a traditional Thanksgiving dinner with family this year. That's a major source of anxiety for a lot of people, so I thought for our main course, we'd watch a film from 1951 about a source of slightly less severe anxiety. Nuclear war.
I can hardly wait.
How about you, Jack?
Get on with it.
Ava Braun Films proudly presents...
I don't think that's what that stands for.
Ed Begley?
Oi, hold still, you've got a massive atom in your eye.
Atomic Alert Elementary version, the hot sauce specially formulated for kids.
It's the No Tears hot sauce from Johnson & Johnson. Ooh, Encyclopedia Britannica. That's what EB stands for. I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Don't feel too bad. Nobody cares about print encyclopedias anymore.
Aye, and that one was made in Britain, the print encyclopedia of countries.
Clicking sounds. Sounds that reveal the presence of radioactive rays.
Maybe he should put it down?
Is converting radioactivity into sounds we can hear. This radioactivity is coming from a small piece of radioactive material inside this plastic cylinder.
But everyone is perfectly safe because they're all wearing clothes made from pure asbestos.
The luminous dial on this watch also gives off radioactive rays, which we hear on the Geiger counter.
Do you reckon it also picks up the radioactive sperm swimming around in his shriveled bollocks? No, but you should hear that thing when he's wearing his glow-in-the-dark radium condom.
That continually bombards us from outer space. But we don't get enough cosmic radiation to harm us.
Which is proof of God's love.
Today, atomic scientists produce radioactivity in large amounts.
We've asked them to stop. They pretend they can't hear us, but you know they can.
Radioactive materials have many peacetime uses. But we know, too, that they can be used harmfully.
Why am I just hearing about this?
Bombs.
Indy, quick, get in the fridge!
The chance of your being hurt by an atomic bomb is slight. But since there is a chance...
You call that a bomb? It barely destroyed a quarter of the city. I guess people were just a lot wimpier back then.
What the bomb does. Besides blast, there's radioactivity and heat. Can we protect ourselves from these?
Let's say yes, but we'll have to use our imaginations.
Walls help stop radioactivity. Any wall stops the heat. The heat scorches the house, but does not harm the children.
What about the blast wave?
Gives some protection. The thicker it is, the better.
Sir? Blast wave? No?
We have the national defenses to intercept an enemy, and we all form a team to help each other through emergencies. You are on that team.
Right. What's the substance abuse policy?
Each member of it. And in your community, every doctor, fireman, every policeman, and nurse, every lineman and operator.
Jeez, this is worse than when people who flunked out of my high school class started becoming firefighters and paramedics.
To help you if you need him. So your community is prepared for emergencies and ready to help other communities.
Oh, Christ. Do we have to?
We have state and national headquarters for civil defense.
Sorry, western half of the country, but you're on your
Civil
own.
Defense Corps.
Die over country. Did you like that?
It was very clever.
And a system of defense.
8 tiny boats to defend the entire country?
Yes, we have the equipment and the people for an effective team. But, like any team, it can win only when everyone knows his job and does it well. What is your job?
I only found out I was on the team like a minute ago.
What if a warning siren sounds? What should you do?
Yell a little louder when I ask those kids why they aren't at school.
The nearest cover. Don't try to make it home unless home is the nearest place to go.
I'm trapped out in the open. I'm not going to make it. Oh, God, not like this, not like this.
Follow me up the Joker steps to safety.
Everyone is in on this. Strangers will understand.
Oi, here he comes. Pipe down and act like no one's home.
Finding shelter quickly may save your life. If you can't get into a house, get behind a wall or a steep embankment on the side away from the city.
And if you happen to be in the city?
Civil defense teams will go into action immediately.
To hell with our families. Let's get the fuck out of here.
You've work to do.
Hi, Susie. Everything's fine upstairs. How you doing here?
Okay, I guess.
That's good.
Just closing the bomb-proof Venetian blinds.
Windows to protect against the possibility of broken glass, heat, and radioactivity. Turn off fires. If you are home and are not assigned to civil defense duties, go to your...
I don't know how I'll get through this nuclear holocaust without my coffee.
Go to prepared
Well,
shelters
fire in the kitchen's
immediately.
out. Now we'll go down the
In
basement.
this practice alert, we are assuming that the attack will come on the waterfront area.
See, it's just practice. All this rushing around for nothing.
I'm opening the goddamn blinds. This is ridiculous.
Come on, let's do our job.
That's good thinking. We all need practice.
Is that the radio announcer or the narrator?
Well prepared
There's a
shelter in the
difference?
basement.
Who says children need parents?
Ted and Sue have a battery radio. And they have soda ash and stirrup pump fire extinguishers.
Oh, those won't be any good against the blob.
They have other emergency supplies, too. A flashlight,
I'm sorry, a what light?
first aid kit, with plenty of bandages tape and scissors.
And lots of smack in case things get really bad. You mean in case they need to drop an H-bomb after they drop the A-bomb? Oh, don't riff on my bloody riffs. Sorry.
Electric lantern in reserve.
You know, Susie, this stuff would come in handy on a camping trip.
But we haven't been camping since that time those bears ate Mom and Dad.
What would we do if we didn't have a basement?
At school, they told us we should be away from windows and behind double walls. You know, like an inside hall.
Ted's right. If you live in an apartment house, you can't all go to the basement.
Huddle together in the corridors of your tenements and curse your parents for crossing the sea to come here.
And in a hallway if possible. Wait for the all clear. Be calm. If you're on the playground, run for shelter.
Oi, the siren's been going for the last 10 minutes.
Building. Move quickly, but in good order.
Run, you fools, we're all dead!
Inside, go to the shelter area you've been assigned. Take your place on the floor. Here's one good way to protect your eyes and neck in case of a bombing. Wait for the all clear.
And come out fighting.
So far, you've been watching a practice drill. But what if there is a bombing that comes without warning?
That's why you need more than 8 tiny boats to look after the entire country. I tried to tell you.
Find cover immediately. Don't look at the flash.
He's bashful. Look at the vain and attention-starved plastic man instead.
In about 1 minute, the immediate danger is past.
The game of hide and seek can continue.
Head for safer cover. Another bomb may fall. Get indoors if you can. Shed your outer garments.
Along with your innocence.
Active particles on them. If you're home,
shit!
And stay down for about 1 minute. By then, the danger from radioactivity, heat, and blast have passed.
Fun fact, nuclear fallout only lasts 1 minute.
Let's get things shut up.
Sue found shelter under her bed.
Sue, be honest, was that your designated shelter?
Bit late for that, ain't it?
Dad, let's get the battery set.
When the house current is off, that battery radio is essential. Keep tuned in.
And stand by with your codograph for a secret clue about tomorrow's adventure of Captain Midnight.
The airburst of 3:01 p.m. was zeroed on Union Station. Heavy damage extends from about 14th Street north to as far south as the waterfront.
You know we're lucky?
Oi, shut your trap. I'm trying to listen.
Unless you have civil defense to... I've just been handed a bulletin. There's been an underwater burst at the waterfront. Water thrown up by the bomb is falling as mist and rain, and it is radioactive. Avoid this radioactive mist and rain.
What does he mean
which the
by
wind is blowing south from the river.
radioactive mist?
All
According to what Dad said, the radioactivity gets into the mist and rain.
And resurrects the recent dead.
At least now we know they have a father.
World building.
I'd scrub thoroughly with a detergent and water.
What's a detergent?
She's precocious.
Mom uses when she washes dishes and clothes.
Mom confirmed.
Don't drink tap water. It may be contaminated.
Drink only delicious, nourishing Ovaltine.
Ted and Sue are waiting for the all clear.
But it's been 3 days now, and their emergency smack is gone.
I'll see who it is.
Don't answer the door. What if it's zombies? Or neighbors who want to share your fallout shelter?
Your block warden, Mr. Carlson.
Come on in, Mr. Carlson.
Hello, Ted.
Hello.
Oh, the Encyclopedia Britannica salesmen have arrived.
Radiological monitor. He's here to check for any radioactivity. I saw your mother down the shopping center. She's fine.
Women be shopping, you know how it is.
Well, there's no damage here.
No, it's been very good here.
Hello, Sue.
Say, have you seen my dad lately?
Aye, I think I saw his head rolling down Washington Avenue.
Yeah?
Well, there's no radioactivity here.
Say, Mr. Franklin, is that a pen on your coat there?
Oh, no, that's a dosimeter.
A dosimeter? Well, what's a dosimeter?
Just a fancy word for a tampon.
The amount of radioactivity that I've been exposed to. But this is the meter that I use to check with.
Say, Mr. Carlson, is there anything I can do outside to help?
No, Ted, everything is under control. You just stay here till the all-clear signal is given. You've done a good job.
Could you not leave the door open like that?
A good job.
So it turns out having a nuclear bomb dropped on your town isn't that big of a deal at all.
Doing a good job means simply following the rules in an alert or an attack. And waiting until all is clear again.
Oh, God, not again!
In this early and troubled stage of the atomic age, our very lives may depend on always being alert.
But don't worry, it won't always be like this. The danger will never go away, but eventually we'll get used to it and stop worrying about it.
And there we go. The first Turkey Day riff of the new era in the books.
I had fun. What do you think, Jack? So is that what we're calling this? The new era?
I don't know.
Do you know how much longer it will be before we're doing videos regularly again?